be aware. Just be kind, be aware, listen to your environment. You can do anything. You can just believe in yourself, believe in God, believe in the situation. You will be okay. Just don't be scared and do what you believe in your heart that is the right thing to do. Do it, because it will be okay and it's going to work itself out and you will be great. So don't worry about it.
I've seen like some of my friends make bad decisions, but I've not jumped off the cliff, and that's made me a better person. Especially like just having that power to know that you don't have to do what everyone else does. You are your own person and you're separate.
You do you.
You do you.
Welcome back to the Rabasha Family Podcast. Now, guys, we are doing something that we've never done before. We have mother and daughter together here. So it's a three-way interview that you guys are going to tune into. I would like to welcome you guys to an amazing episode with Eti, Lazarian, and Noah. Now, Eti, as the mother, is a founder of Insignia LLC, head of Elle Family Entrepreneur, and Elle Family Office. She's an entrepreneur, public speaker, philanthropist, real estate leader, team builder, empowering women and future leaders. Mother of three, which you can see her beautiful daughter here, Noah. As a commercial, residential, and real estate professionals and philanthropist at heart. Proud mother and a versatile real estate. She's thrived in a fast-paced world of office, commercial, residential, and retail properties with a passion for delivering excellence in every transaction, bringing integrity and expertise to each deal. Beyond real estate, she's been deeply committed to making a positive impact in her community and supporting meaningful causes that are close to her heart. So this is a way now with her daughter here as well on how they're building legacy. And Noah is someone who's had a dream to be able to go out there and live the life she's always dreamed of. As she's in college and exploring her path on how she's going to make an impact onto this world. We're proud to have you guys on the show.
What an amazing introduction. Where do you take it from here? That's it. We're done. Beautiful. Thank you so much. We forgot a little part about hospitality, but we do adverse in every side of real estate, and we love real estate, retail as well.
Awesome. So look, before we get into all the questions, everything, can you take us a little bit back to where this all started? You know, you can go as far back as you can, but how did this all start, you know, in terms of your background and, you know, raising a family now?
Marketing is all about storytelling. Dad, when we first started this business, what did you say to me?
I said, yes, we do a podcast.
Why?
Because I want to tell our story.
Why?
Because I know the story builds a legacy.
Builds a legacy. And that is exactly what we do here at Eti S Redefining Media. We market your story on social media so you could build a legacy for those who come after you, to build your business and your personal brand.
Yeah, follow us on our platform. Go on our website, etsredefining.com.
This is about legacy, and it is about showing up on social media every single day, because if you don't show up, your competition will.
I came to America 25 years ago. My husband and I started a company from scratch. My husband came to this country with $70 in his pocket. He lived the American dream. We started with a small business, with one small, apartment complex. And it just, you buy one thing, you sell it, you buy another thing, you sell it, and you just grow as you go. And we were never scared of taking risks. Right? We were never scared of, this is a huge deal. How are we going to do it? It was always like head on. We're going to figure it out. Chaz is an attorney. We're both extremely well educated. And this is something I passed for children also. They can take everything away from you, but they cannot take your education. So there is something I put my fingers on all the time, is you really need to know every aspect of your business. I'm a marketing expert. I have my master's in marketing, but I also know accounting. I also know finance. I also know whatever I need to know. I took some classes in law to understand leases, to read leases, to understand who I'm working in front of. So I really think you have to educate yourself in all aspects of the business, not just, people love marketing. It's so much fun and it's interactive and you pictures and you get to photograph stuff, but there is so much more to your business than marketing, and you need to really know every aspect of the business. And when the girls were born, I was the firstborn. She was always, even when she was 2, when she started speaking, she was always wiser than her years. Like, she always understood. She always knew what she wanted. She was always like, I used to take her to board meeting because me personally, I never trusted anybody to babysit my kids. So we're a village. It's my family. My father-in-law helped me. We're all like my mother-in-law, my father, my parents, everybody raised the children together. So she was always with me in business meeting. And I always joked that she could manage with 500,000 square feet of office building since she was 3 years old, just because she was always immersed in business. It was never like, okay, mommy and daddy are talking now, you should not talk, get involved in the conversation. She was always part of the family business and family legacy. And we always talked about, the direction that we're taking, where we're going, and all of this good stuff. Anything you want to add, darling?
And
I think that
no, go on.
I think that being included from such a young age, like even in my business class, I just completely understood 90% more than my peers. Just growing up around it has caused me to just like subconsciously absorb it. And so I think that's really helped me get ahead at this age.
And just for a little context, how old are you now?
I'm 18 years old.
18. So like, going back to your mother talking about when you're growing up, what do you remember? Like, just what were your earliest memories as a child, like just being around your parents?
I have this one memory sitting in the kitchen, and my father's on his phone talking about something. I don't remember what exactly, but I remember I asked a question, something in regards to the law and real estate, and he answered it. And a couple years later, when I'm in college, I was taking a legal environment of business class, and a question on the test was the exact thing I asked my dad, and I remembered the answer that he told me, and I got it right. So just like growing up around it has just helped me so much.
Wow. And Eddie, just your relationship with your husband, do you feel like just for couples in general, being in relationships, when there's a business there or you guys are building something together, there's a stronger bond, would you say?
You know what I just did, that deep breath? You need to remember to take that deep breath with everything, because sometimes when you work with your husband and you live with your partner and you live with your children and you sometimes get into business with your family members that are around you in every aspect of your being, it really is important to take that deep breath and to remember to sometimes remind yourself, I love this person, even though this is not exactly the situation I want to be in right now, but this is a person I love and respect. And I'm going to take a second, because sometimes in your head, you're like so fast paced and everything is so fast, and why they don't understand it already, and why am I taking time to explain, or whatever it is that we are in the situation. But you really need to center yourself and remember that when you are working with loved one, this is not your peers. You can't come home, close the door, and you don't see this person until the next day. You really need to remind yourself every moment of the day that, this is your family member. Keep the dignity, keep the respect between each other, be very respectful the way you talk to your partner, family member, and this is just the protocol in all the business altogether. Like, we're very, very respectful here in the company, the way we're doing things. And it does feel like a huge company, like a huge family business. It doesn't, even though, now we have hundreds of employees, they're not all family members at this point, but it does feel like a family business.
And before I go onto the business, Noah, like, what have you learned from watching your mother lead that maybe you wouldn't be taught in a classroom? Like, what have you learned from seeing your mother and her in her femininity as she's helped build such a powerful empire?
Definitely kindness and compassion. I've seen my mom go above and beyond to do things that like other landlords wouldn't do for their clients. She gets on a personal level with people, but in a professional way. And that's something that they tell you to avoid and just don't do that. But for her, that's actually her superpower. And she treats people, even if they can't necessarily help her with something, she will treat them the same way as someone who could, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And Eddie, can you talk to us a little bit about the business model? So if for people who don't know what you guys do at all, and if I'm an 11-year-old, how will you explain to me the business model of how Insignia works?
We are opportunistic buyers. So when the 2008 happened, we bought apartments. Everybody and their mother in America bought apartments because it was pennies on the dollar, and we bought apartment. Now, during the crisis after COVID, what we're buying right now is hospitality, office, and we have a lot of retail since legacy projects since before COVID, because during COVID retail was very inexpensive. I think the next thing will be maybe flex use, maybe industrial. Who knows what's going to be next? But we are moving with the market, and office is really difficult right now. But our specialty is to identify an asset and looking at it in a holistic approach and understanding the environment, because I'm so dipped in the community and I know all the mayors and I work with all the mayors and I work with all municipalities and I know what a community needs. I will create an environment in those spaces. So I'll give you an example. We live in Sandy Springs. It's probably the most expensive land in Atlanta, Georgia, where we are located. We bought office building. It's going to be extremely difficult to occupy full office building. It's about 1 million square feet. So we took it down. We built multifamily, retail, residential, townhomes, whatever is the community need. We know the need of the community, so we supply it. That's why everything is moving so quickly with us. So we are really not afraid of jumping into the deal and then figuring it out how to do it. But if we see a good deal, we know the location is great, we know the price is great, that's all we need to know. Then slowly we adjust our way. And because we are a husband and wife duo, it's only 2 decisions that needs to be made. We always joke, Chaz comes to me with an idea. It's like, what do you think? I'm turning to him, you know what? It's a horrible idea. Let's do it. Like, this is our reaction to everything. So the fact that you don't have a huge organization, a huge ship to shift, it helps with pivoting and making quick decisions.
I love it. It's interesting because I used to stay in Atlanta, so I used to stay in Sandy Springs, very, very beautiful area. So you made me reminisce about it. So let me ask you also, Noah, you can also answer this. What pressure comes with carrying such a big family name, and how do you navigate that without losing your own identity? Because, you know, again, the empire that you guys have built and the vision just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. So is there any pressures that comes with that?
I personally have not felt pressures. I've actually felt like having the family name has pushed me to be greater, try to strive for being above average. When someone else is doing this, try to make the right decisions, don't follow my friends. Just kind of be my own person and be a Lazarian.
I always say to the girls, I have 3 girls, 3 gorgeous girls, I always say that you're you. You're not me. You don't make my decisions. I am my own person. You're your own person. Don't try to be like me. You do you. You be you. And you're amazing the way you do things. And your young set of mind and young set of eyes will give a whole different perspective of what the company may need. Just do you and believe. Once you believe in it, just go with it. Don't doubt yourself. If you believe that something is right, just go with it. And I always push them to do what they can. And they come to me from young age. She wanted to learn Taekwondo, and I told her, you can learn Taekwondo, no problem, but you can't. You have to finish it all the way. You have to be black belt. Like, you can't stop in the middle. We're not quitters. So once you make a commitment and you say, I'm going to learn Taekwondo, you're going to be black belt. And she finished the class, and she finished the course. It was a 5-year course. She finished it. Now she's working on her private license, pilot. So again, the same thing. We're not quitting in the middle. If you want to be a pilot, no problem. We will pay for it, whatever you want, but you can't quit. You have to take it to the finish line and you have to finish. So that's something I taught the girls from a very young age. And I think that's a very good quality for business because, you know, in business, it's, you know what they say, overnight success, 40 years in the making. So to get here, there were multiple challenges that we had to get to this point. So overnight success is really a difficult thing to achieve.
And what would you say the family values are?
I think,
Kindness.
yeah, kindness and charity. Definitely, ever since a young age, that's literally all that I grew up with. I had super long hair, and so my mom took me and my sisters, and she was like, okay, girls, we're going to cut our hair up to our shoulders, and we're going to take our hair and turn it into like wigs for cancer kids. And so I think that was one of our first projects together, and that really sparked something inside of me and definitely my sisters. And ever since then, we've been brainstorming ideas, coming up with projects that we can do to help people.
She had a philanthropic side for her since she was 18 months. We were in this competition, and there was this beautiful, I don't know if you even remember that, in one of the stores around our house, there was a competition. It was a Jewish holiday, and whoever won, it was a dancing competition. Everybody was dancing, and the person that won got a cake, $10 cake, nothing big deal, just a silly little cake. Everybody was dancing. Noah fun won first place. She got the cake, and the kid next to her started crying. Why did she get a cake? And she didn't even hesitate. She took the cake, she turned around, and she gave the little kid the cake. And it was nothing. It wasn't about something. It was just her kindness, her pure kindness of her heart. So that was the first moment when I identified that this kid has enormous kindness in her, and it just helped her express that feeling that she already had inside. So it's something that came from her.
And how do you guys see those values shaping the next generation? You know, and Noah, when you have children, like, how do you see those values of kindness and having that spirit to be of service and to give? How do you see that shaping the next generation?
I mean, there's no better feeling than to give, so I definitely want to raise my kids when I eventually have them with philanthropic values. And I'm currently in a sorority. I'm an Alpha Omicron Pi, and most people think sororities are just for partying and stuff, but I actually joined mine to help raise money for arthritis research. And I think that there's so many ways to get involved, so I'm definitely going to push my kids. And I know that they'll want to because it's the right thing to do and it feels so good to be philanthropic.
You know, we are so fortunate we are in real estate, right? So everything we do, not everything, but we touch people's life on a daily basis. Someone come to me with a dream, and especially young women and female entrepreneur, they come to me with a dream. My dream is to open a restaurant. My dream is to open a clothing. Downstairs, I just opened a beautiful boutique clothing store for a young lady, 2 sisters actually. I just helped open a spa, a med spa for 2 sisters as well. These are ladies that nobody gave them opportunities. They went to one landlord, to another landlord, to another landlord. Nobody gave them opportunity because they have zero credit. They have no money. They didn't know how to get an SBA loan. They didn't know how to establish an LLC. Like, they didn't know any of that. And I, as the owner of the company, took them by hand, step by step, and explained to them, you have to do this. This is how you get an SBA loan. This is how you file your taxes. This is what you need to know. I helped them get credit to open a store, where to buy a sign, like literally step by step. And now they've been in the business for 5-7 years, some of them. They're extremely successful. And I feel like that's a philanthropic side that I have as a landlord, that each landlord have, but not a lot of people use this power. And also I'm giving something that we do, Lazarian girls, we give a lot of free space. During COVID, we had all this retail space that nobody wanted back then. Now retail is on fire. So we opened the learning centers in each one of our centers, and we gave free computers and free lunches and free food and ballet classes. My girls were teaching taekwondo and ballet. And because my family believe that if you keep the kids engaged, that's how they avoid alcoholism and drugs and every other problems, bullying and every other problems that come with extra time. So we believe that the kids should be always engaged. So we kept them in those learning centers here. So they finish school at 1 until 7 o'clock at night. They had something to do and someone was watching them. So that's something we did for the community as well. But we'll always come up with other things. We're very creative.
And that's actually powerful. I just want to touch on that real quick. What advice would you give for other, parents who have accumulated such wealth? And it's very easy now for the children, exactly with idle time, you can see it's very easy for the children to just take advantage of that or to go out and be on drugs or those things. So what advice would you give? Because I think that's quite a valuable lesson you just shared there.
Well, I think as the child, something that's helped me with my spare time is my mom really pushing me and supporting me when I mention, oh, I might like to try this hobby. She's like, go do that. Go on a hike, go outside. Just pushing and having that base to know, I'm interested in planes. I want to start flight school. My parents will support me, has helped me.
I think awareness. I think listening and awareness. Like, a lot of people, the kids talk, but the information just flies around their head. And I see it a lot with a lot of parents. And the kids actually tell you what they want, but you don't listen. So I think awareness and listening and, be a parent. Don't try to be a friend. We're best friends. We really are best friends. But there is also that guidance that comes with everything. There is also that little wisdom or that little advice that comes from experience, and experience comes from making bad decisions. So I've been there, done that, so learn from it. So I think just being aware, just if nothing else, just be aware.
Beautiful. And is there something about your family story that most people don't know but should?
I think the thing that really, when I was old enough to actually comprehend the stories I've been told, was the whole immigration story of my father and my mother, how he came here at an age younger than me. I could not imagine moving to a brand new place with $70. I think that's just one of the most inspiring things I've ever heard.
Es came to America with $70 at age 14 by himself. And he made this incredible life for himself. But when the company actually went to the next level is when we joined forces and when I came to the business. And we really are really good at supporting each other and lifting each other and finding each other's strength. What we do, we run in completely different runways. We don't do the same thing. We say he's the hunter, I'm the skinner. He hunts the deal and I'm making sure that we still have clients and people are paying for the bills, right? So he doesn't deal with clients. He doesn't have that personal touch to deal with, individual clients and people, but he's amazing. He brings amazing deal to the table, and we really found the niche that works well for us. And we don't try to step on toes. We're not like, oh, you're good at this, I'm good at that. Like, let's stay in what we do best and not try to do each other's job. And I think giving each other the power and to trust each other, he's going to do it the best way he can. I think that's something amazing, that it takes a lot of experience to find that little strength in each other.
And Noah, like you seeing your father from a young age up until now, I know you gave a small example earlier, but is there any other lessons that you've seen just learning from your father, him also having that masculine presence, being a protector, being a provider, being a businessman? Is there any kind of things that you just would observe and see, I can see that quality in my dad, and I can see that, and maybe even when you have a husband one day, certain qualities that you could see from, your father? What would you say?
My father, I think he's a problem solver. I have so many different memories where we're just in a random place, like in Jamaica on a random beach. We don't know how to get back to our cruise ship. My dad will walk up to a random person, negotiate a deal with him to get us back to the bus. Like, he just comes up with things, and he's very like outgoing, things that I'm like, no, don't do that, don't talk to him. And then he gets it done. That's definitely something that I want to achieve in myself, and it's not an easy thing to have, to be that outgoing. And he really thinks like the box is here, and he'll be like, go all the way over there and find a solution.
Chaz is a fire chief. We always make joke that he's a fire chief. He can turn off any fire. Like, we always have issues. There's always problem. But I think everyone in this family is like some sort of a fire chief. Like, we're problem solver. We always say, people come to me, I have a problem. I'm like, I have a solution. Calm down. It's all good.
He always says, you don't ask, you don't get. And I was like, ever since a young age, that's everything that I've heard. And it's a difficult thing to ask because, I mean, everyone naturally has a fear of rejection, but I feel like my dad does not. And I think that's a really powerful thing.
I think once you overcome that fear of rejection, and in business, you really have to overcome that fear of rejection, because you get 2 million no's until you get 1 yes. So once you like have a shield on that field, on that area, you're golden. So don't be scared of rejection. Rejection is a good thing. It teaches you a lot. Every aspect of your life teaches you a lot.
Powerful, and it sounds very street smart as well, from also what I
Street smart, yeah.
Yeah. So this is an interesting question, like Eti and also Noah. But like, why do you guys believe also, family story, like in the public matters? Because it's very easy, especially when you accumulate a lot of wealth, again, for people to say, oh, let's stay quiet, let's stay, far away from people and just keep building our empire and making money. But like, what also value do you see in coming out and doing things like this, having this podcast to talk about this story and what you guys are doing, and how the family has been raised?
I think the most important thing to us as a family is that value of kindness. And I think that's what we're trying to convey. Everything else comes on the side. But really, when we go on all these podcasts and all these talks, we have a panel now in Newport, a panel together, me and the 3 girls. We do a lot of panels together also. I think what we're trying to convey is the awareness and the kindness, because as real estate people, we really change communities. We completely change communities. We come in, we build buildings, we build hotels, we build streets, we build communities. And we have power to help people to change their lives. So we really need to be aware and do whatever we can to help people. And not a lot of landlords do that. That's what I'm trying to convey. That's that little extra step of kindness changed someone else's world completely. So I think that's what's yours?
I think that, like, putting ourselves out there, I mean, my dad has sent me like 30 books to read about different families and stuff. So, like, anything that at least one person could take away from this video, that makes it worth it. Because I know that I've learned stuff from other people, good advice, and how to just manage, like, being a next gen. So, if I could just help one other next gen kind of see that we're on the same page, like, and that everything's okay and that the pressure is actually good, I think that it's worth it.
That's really, really powerful, and the fact that you see that already. So let me also ask you, when you guys think about the word legacy, what does it personally mean to you, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually? That word legacy.
It makes me think of Alexander Hamilton, which I don't know if you've ever watched the play, but he's constantly talking about his legacy. And that reminds me a lot of my father, because he has three girls, and so me and my sisters, we talk. We actually made up our mission statement together, so we're all three always on the same page. Even if we argue without dehumanizing each other. We're very mature, and we've talked that we want to keep the Lazarian legacy alive in the United States because we're the only Lazarians here. So we want to keep our last name and just have a legacy of kindness, and maybe one day even open up some sort of charitable foundation, which we have the Lazarian girls, and just really like expand on that and make that large. That's what we want our legacy to be.
The girls and I talk about philanthropy since they were born, so I'm teaching them about the difference between a donation and a philanthropic act. So just, being philanthropic comes from your heart. So you can raise $1 million, which a lot of family do. But what we do, we actually impact on the ground level, on the community level. And I think that's a huge impact that we do. So it doesn't have to be a multi-million dollar donation. That's great too. But sometimes just that time that you go to an elderly house and you read a book to the elderly, or we go to the dog shelter and we walk the dogs, all this impact that we do, we change someone's life or someone's day or someone's career. That's a huge impact. So to me, that's the legacy that I have. And that's another family that we helped and another family that they helped. And hopefully they'll have their family. So that's like a ripple effect.
Powerful. And Noah, you talked about a mission statement. Do you mind sharing what your mission statement is with you and your sisters?
It's to remain as close as possible, because I know that when people tend to get older, they tend to fight more, and one moves to Washington, one moves to California, and all around. So we want to make sure that we live close together, raise our kids close together. That's one of our missions. And it's also to work all three of us together in the family office. I mean, none of us have any career goals that are different from the family office. And it's not because our parents are pushing us to be in it. It's something that we three sat down and collectively came up with, saying that we want to work together when we're older, and that we think that Elle is extremely book smart. Me and Mia are street smart and book smart, but we all have our strengths. And I feel like together we could really come up with something great.
I am not pushing them to work for the family. And actually, I'm pushing them to work for someone else for at least 2 years, just so they understand how things are working in another place before they come to the family. But I tell them all the time, find someone you love, marry for love, do what you love, enjoy what you love. Life is short and precious. So do what you want and do what you love to do.
Not having that pressure on us, I think, actually pushed us in more. Because, I mean, there was a point where I wanted to be a vet, I wanted to be an artist. But in the end, I've always come back to just seeing how my parents are. It made me want to be like them. Not like, you have to do this, you can't be a doctor, you can't be this. But it's a want.
We had my husband, we talked about being a doctor, and I told Noah, if you become a doctor, I'll buy you a house. And my husband was like, if you don't become a doctor, I'll buy you 3 houses. So in the beginning, in the career, we were trying to advise them, but then you do whatever we talked about it, and we decided you do whatever you want. You want to be a doctor, be a doctor. You want to be a scientist, be a scientist. You want to be a real estate guru, be a real estate person, whatever you want.
That slack on the leash is what really gave us the push to actually come back.
And I think that's the key there, yeah, because it's so easy for parents, me, I want my children to do what I'm doing. And that actually pushes them away when you want them to do it. But when you just give them the freedom, they look at you guys as role models and want to be able to do it. So that's really, really powerful. And Eti, what surprised you most about Noah and seeing the leader and individual she's becoming? Like, what's kind of taking you? Like, of course, you've seen her as very mature since she's a young age and things like that. But what's really kind of, you look at her and like, man, I'm really, really proud of my daughter. What surprised you the most?
So, when she was a little girl, she was black belt in Taekwondo. When she was practicing, I could never believe how high she kicks and how high she jumps. Like, it was always a shock. And now recently I saw her as a pilot. And I'm looking, and in your head, you look at this 2-year-old sitting in your lap, and all of a sudden she's flying an airplane. And that to me was like a moment, like, how is it even humanly possible that little girl is flying? And she's young, she's so young. She has wisdom beyond her years. I feel like she knows stuff naturally. It just comes to her naturally. She's very good at what she does. She's very compassionate. And EQ is not something you can teach, right? It's something that you have it within you. So she has very, very deep emotional intelligence, and she's very smart. So I'm very proud of her for that.
I think that I've just picked all of that up since I was a kid, like a sponge, because that's just what I've been surrounded by. So I think it comes naturally because it's just the way I've been raised and it's just like inside of me.
And Noel, what would you say surprised you most about seeing your mum since you've been a kid? And yeah, what's taken you by surprise in what she's been able to do and where she's going and what she does every day?
I mean, if it's like, even when it's something little like, Mom, look at this birthday cake I found on Pinterest, she will get it done somehow. I don't know where she got it, and it's perfect. Just stuff like that. Like, Mom, I need this. Where do I get it? Here it is. Like, she finds her ways to just make
I
everything.
have a Mary Poppins bag.
Yeah, it's just like she has really shocked me with that, with the way that she will come up with things so fast. And like, especially, she has a passion for throwing parties, and she just is one of the most creative people in such an interesting way. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about my mom, because it's nothing with her work life, it's her personal life.
I am very lucky to have a lot of people around me that are very creative. So I have to give it credit to my team. It takes a village, right? So we have a really good village around
Very
us.
creative.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate.
And in regard to the business, do you guys have any also visions to expand also globally and own properties around the world?
Funny that you say that. We have an opportunity now. Yes, we are. Yes. I don't want to say too much, but it looks like we are. Yes.
That's my goal for when I
Yeah.
rise up to the occasion. Definitely to, I think that's where my pilot's license can tie in. Definitely to expand through to different states or even globally.
Yeah. And what responsibility do you guys feel towards your community as well? Not just obviously the company, but yeah, what responsibility do you guys feel in regard to the community?
So, we shape communities, right? So I'll just give you an example here. This is where I am. It's a shopping center that has a lot of retail. It has residential in the back. People come to me all the time with vape shops. I'm getting a certain amount per square feet. They offer me 3 times the amount for vape shop or for other things that I know will hurt children in the community. And I'm always, no, this is our protocols. This is the way we do things. There is no number that you can put on it that will make me open a vape shop in any of my properties. So I'm always conscious about the community first. I'm always conscious about there are children here first. We need to do something that will be more appropriate for children, that will not take children in the wrong direction. If it's alcohol, if it's drugs, whatever it is, we will always going to keep an eye on things. We will always have proper security. So we're very, very conscious about the community and what we're building and what we're doing for the community and with the community.
No, any thoughts on that?
I mean, exactly what she said. For me, it's kind of different because I'm in college now, but I mean, they've just taught me how important community is. And I think that that also helps you make friends and connect with people better because you don't think that you're above anyone. You don't try to sit on some high horse and be like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. I always am talking to everyone, connecting with everyone. And that's how I'm kind of made my own community.
This is something we tell the kids all the time. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So it's really important that you know everyone. So just talk to everyone. You never know. You never know what's going to come from what. Just talk to everyone, be open to everything, be aware, open your eyes and ears. You never know. You never know. And that's where you hear about problems. That's where you hear about business opportunities, but that's where you hear about anything. Like, just be aware of your environment. You don't know where the next deal is going to come from, when the next hungry child is going to come from. Like, always be aware and always help.
So let's say 10 years from now, what does life look like for you guys as a family, individually and as a family?
I mean, in 10 years, I'm probably still going to be in school. I'm probably law school. Not sure where, but that's definitely my goal. Hopefully have my commercial pilot's license and just continue my education as far as I possibly can. What about you?
I will be paying for all of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, globally, we talked about globally. So hopefully we'll have many more branches all over the world. Hopefully something tropical and exotic with margarita in my hand. But yeah, our goal is to grow and expand and grow on the personal level and the professional level and support as many people as we can and enjoy life in the process.
Amen. I love it. And finally, what lessons do you wish you could pass directly down to your great grandchildren?
I think I know I sound like a broken record, but if there is something that my family learned from me, is be aware. Just be kind, be aware, listen to your environment. You can do anything. You can just believe in yourself, believe in God, believe in the situation. You will be okay. Just don't be scared and do what you believe in your heart that is the right thing to do. Do it, because it will be okay and it's going to work itself out, and you will be great. So don't worry about it. You have great genes. You come from an amazing family. Everything will be okay. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it.
I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from my parents that has helped me now, especially as a teenager, my mom, I want this. My friends have it. If your friend jumps off a cliff, would you jump off a cliff? And that really stayed with me because I've seen like some of my friends make bad decisions, but I've not jumped off the cliff, and that's made me a better person. And especially like just having that power to know that you don't have to do what everyone else does. You are your own person and you're separate. That's a lesson that I want my great-grandchildren to have.
You do you.
You do you.
Do you? So before we finish, I like to play a game. And what I'm going to do is I'll say a word, and then whatever word I say, whatever comes to the top of your mind, like both of you guys, you just with one word, you say it, and then I can get you to explain it after. Yeah?
Okay.
So let's say money.
Responsibility. I think that's something people don't think of when they think of money. They think of yachts and parties, but with money is power. With power comes
Education.
responsibility, so you have to spend it responsibly, save it responsibly, put it in stocks responsibly, spend it on education.
I can't top that. She wins.
She won that one. Real estate.
Longevity. It's responsibility also, actually. Changing lives, changing careers, moving with the market, changing the way real estate is. If something starts in a certain asset, it doesn't have to stay as that asset. It can shift into a different direction. So real estate is very diverse, and it has a lot of opportunities, and it can really change your life and make your life incredible if you know to play the game properly.
I love it. Resilience.
My parents, my mom and dad, they were very resilient. I don't have a lot of details, but sometimes I hear, this isn't going well, but they push through until it goes well. And they just hit the hammer until the nail is in. I think they're as resilient as it gets.
You know, we say if the door is closed, you're going to go from the window. If the window is closed, we're going to get in from the keyhole, but somehow we're going to get in. So we will figure it out. As I said before, sometimes people say, I have a problem, I have a solution. Don't, stuck yourself and I don't know what to do. There is always a solution. There is always something to do. So sometimes you just have to take a step back. You don't have to have the answer right away. You can sleep on it and you can have that. Sometimes you just say to yourself, let me think about it. And you think about it. And the problem that you have right now, the next day is not as big as it was in that moment. So sometimes just absorb it, inhale it, like really take a deep breath and think about the issues that you have, and you will resolve it the next day. And unless it's health problem, which can be awful, if it's just something in the business, it's fixable. We will figure it out. We always figure it out.
There's always a way.
There's always a way.
Femininity.
Strength.
For sure. It takes a lot to have femininity, and I think femininity is being secure in yourself and trusting yourself, because sometimes it's hard to trust yourself, but I think that's what's important.
I think femininity, before feminism was about whatever a man can do, a woman can do. That was the thing. It's not that anymore, right? Now, you do you. You're a man, you do you. I will do it differently. I don't know if it's going to be better or not, or maybe in my opinion it's better, in your opinion it's not, but I will do it differently and I will do it my way, and this way works for me. And I'm not in a competition with you. I'm not trying to be like you. I am me, and I will do it the way that works for me. And I think to have that ease with yourself and knowing that you're doing what's right for you and for your environment and for your community, it just gives you a peace of mind. It also gives you strength.
And that femininity, it complements the masculinity. So even with you and Chaz, right, your femininity in being able to look after the clients, to have the attention to detail, to have the passion, he's the one who uses his masculinity to get the deals, but it complements each other. So exactly what you said, it's not about competing with each other. No, like it's these are two powerful energies that when we combine them, it creates the magic.
And you see it a lot in real estate, being a woman in real estate, especially commercial real estate. I'm always the only woman in the room. I'm walking into a room, it's always a man full of suits, 200 suits, and one little me. Hello, I'm here. And I think that my presence bring a calmness to the room, because when two men are negotiating against each other, there is a certain ego in between. But when you bring a woman into the equation, the whole negotiation dance becomes different. So I think it's really important to balance the room with some female figures in this room. So that's just the way I look at it.
I think females just bring a different perspective, a different side, a different take, and I think overall general calmness too.
Or madness, depend who you ask.
Yeah. And I also think a little bit of the intuition as well. Like for even my partner, she may tell me, oh, I don't really like that energy. Most oftentimes it's true, right? So I think also the intuition.
Oh my God, the intuition. In the beginning, as I'm younger than my husband. So when we started working together, I always asked him, every time he jumped into a deal, I asked him, how do you know? Like, how do you know? He said, don't try to explain it. Just you're thinking about it too much. Don't try to explain it. If you feel in your stomach it's right, it's right. If you feel it in your stomach something is off, go with it, because it's probably off. You have really strong instinct, go with it. And once I started listening to my inner feeling that has zero sense, it doesn't based on any grounds, once I started going with that, everything just went the right way. So really listen to yourself. If something is telling you something is wrong, if something in your body tells you this is wrong, it's wrong. Shift direction. So yeah, intuition.
Awesome. Family.
Just being like together, family trips and family bonding, I think is really important.
Yeah, we do. I make them. They don't want to come with me on family trips, and then they love it.
Yeah, a lot of kids my age just stay in their room with their phones. But I mean, once you like get together, it really brings you together.
A lot of trips, China, India, Europe, Slovenia, Albania. We went to the craziest places. Bosnia, Herzegovina, like every crazy country, every war country you can think about, we've been there.
I think those situations and like the stuff you get into there and can see can help bring you closer as a family.
We spent the summer in Jordan. We went from Jordan to the White House to Paris. It was a crazy, crazy summer for us, but we had a good time. Everybody's safe.
And have you guys ever come to Australia?
We've never been to, as we were talking, I'm like, I should just fly to Australia to do this podcast live. Maybe next year. Maybe this year, 2026. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Australia's beautiful. Yeah, you guys got to come.
I don't like snakes.
You don't like snakes? Yeah, but they're more out in the outback. You won't really see them.
Yeah, I hear you have amazing animals. And we love animals.
Spiders.
We would love Australia. I know we will. Australia, New Zealand are on my bucket list. Maybe this year.
Yeah, you would love it. Also, like going to Kenya, I went to Kenya not first time, but like I went to the.
We were in Kenya.
Did you guys go to Masai Mara?
We were in Tanzania, in South Africa, and in Kenya. Yeah.
You saw the lions and stuff?
Yes. We saw a lion eat an impala. Yes, beautiful. And elephants and rhinos and what is the name with the M with the McDonald's? Not impala, another whatever. Beautiful. We love it. We love the safari.
Were you there? Was Noah there?
No, it was just me and Chaz before we had children. Yeah. But she's been all over the world. She's been to many countries.
And just lastly on that, like even for Noah, how, like, because even when I went to America, a lot of people don't travel as much, I noticed. How do you feel that's impacted like your aspect on life? Because I know myself, having traveled the world, like it's powerful when you're able to see different things. How do you feel like where you are now at your age, that's impacted your scope of things in the way you carry yourself out in the world?
I'm glad you said that because I know I can tell that you understand. I mean, a lot of my friends haven't even been outside of the States, but I mean, in middle school, my dad would take us to the most random places ever, and the principal would get mad at him and email my parents. And what did he say? Like, I'm teaching my children things that can't be learned in a classroom. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth. Like, even
we got long letters from the school saying you cannot take your kids out for 3 weeks on vacation. And my husband was like, this is not a vacation. This is an educational, they're learning geography. They went to China. They went to wherever, I don't know.
And
they went to crazy
absorbing
places.
Different cultures can help you with cultural appreciation, which is really important and something that the world is lacking right now very deeply. So that's something that we're trying to spread too. Cultural appreciation is very important.
Yeah, people don't know what it's like in other places. They only know what they know, right?
And what they
don't know,
hear, what they see on the media,
which is not what's happening.
very skewed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the
So
media could have
you
their own
see
agenda.
only extreme, yeah. You see only the extreme, and the media does have its own agenda. It's true. So we see the real life of people, especially in places like Mexico. We went to see little villages in Mexico and in Antigua and in a lot of places around the world, and they've seen a lot of things. Some things that stays with you for a long time,
And makes you appreciate life as well and what you have.
Yeah. And gratefulness.
True.
Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for this episode. This was really cool, and time just flows by, like that. We're already here. So I want to thank you guys so much for being open and, being vulnerable as well. This probably maybe wasn't easy, I know, for some people, but I knew how easy it would be because, we had really good energy on the first call. And I'm just really looking forward to the future. What a way to start the year with such a powerful interview with two beautiful women here representing the family with your legacy, with your vision, with your values. And I can't wait to see how far you guys take things. And we can all look back on this interview 10 years from now and be like, they did everything they said they would. So thank you guys so
Amazing.
much.
Lovely meeting you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And we will come and visit you in Australia.
You gotta come. Okay, guys. Hey, what's wrong? Bro, I'm stressed out. I'm running my business. I've got to serve my customers, but I need more customers coming in. I can't keep relying on word of mouth. Why don't you just use Eti S Media? Who? Well, with AI now, what they do is they go in, get your perfect clients, bring them in front of you. So all I got to do is run my business and he brings me opportunities. Think about it. You speak to 3,000 of your ideal customers, convert 1% of that 3,000. That's 30 people. 30 people in a room with you. Can you convert that? Of course I'll close them. I'm good at what I do. I just don't have time to be going and looking for my perfect client. Focus on what you love doing and let them bring you customers. When you win, they win, commission, ching. Sujira Rubasha, huh? Yeah, Sujira Rubasha. Go and Google them, man. Come on, take it to the bank.
If you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're going to love that one.